God, it's me, Nate Hoyle, and welcome to the Secret Restaurant Podcast. Welcome, God, to the Secret Restaurant Podcast. I will be your host for this journey. What's going on, guys? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. I went to this concert. I'll talk about it later, maybe, but I was in the bathroom. Jam-packed concert, therefore jam-packed bathroom. at a small venue with 2 urinals and 1 stall in the men's room, and it was people were just lining up, just imitating what it was like in front of the stage, but instead of the stage, it was the urinals. Surprisingly, if you cheer, though, not the same response to those around you. When you're just lining up in front of the urinals, you can't cheer like you would in front of the stage. Or clap. Clap for people. But yeah, I was waiting in line, jam-packed, awkward silence. And people, this is actually a gross story. But there was a dude who was waiting. I knew he was in there in front of me. And so there was an open toilet, and I said, "After you," to him. Which is probably the most literal thing that you could say when people are waiting in line in the bathroom. Is this gross? Yes, it is. "After you, sir." Oh, that open toilet. "After you, please." You think if it became the norm to cheer for people in public bathrooms that we would ever accept it? Like every time the line goes one step further, people clap. Or if it's like the door is shut and that's always awkward too. If like the door is shut and then people keep coming out, or like a porta potty or something. A few weeks ago, I went to a show at a different location, and I didn't realize that there was a line for the bathrooms. Because it was kind of like far away. Like the line was surprisingly far away from the bathroom doors. And so I was surprised anyway, because I was like, whoa, no line. So I like went up and I checked if the doors were locked. And then a dude in line was like, "There's a line." And then I turned around. It was the most angry I've ever seen a line of people. And nobody clapped. Which was, hopefully someday we will cheer each other on. We're all in this together. But first and foremost, after you. I'm going to move on from that subject matter because nobody really actually wants to hear all of that. Went to Iowa City yesterday, briefly, for like a few hours. And there was a bathroom there. Oh, actually, there was a bathroom there that someone had punched a hole in the wall. College town, you know. But then there was just this dude, and he had to like replaster the wall. He was just like replastering the wall in the bathroom. He was like, "Working in a college town, man." Do you ever miss those days of glory? Perhaps. Yeah, perhaps you do. Perhaps you do. I do. That's true. You know what's a memory I'll never forget, and it's not even a good story? When I was in college, we went to this apartment party, and this is so stupid, but I don't. Do you ever have stories you just like remember them for like no reason? They're not even good stories. Well, I'm gonna tell you one. But we were at this apartment. I didn't really know the people there, friends of friends or whatever. And the dude, someone had punched a hole in his door, like one of the bedroom doors, I guess. And I was like, "Who punched a hole in your door?" And he was like, "My friend." I don't know why that's so funny. That interaction. I remember it like years later. Like, "Oh, who punched a hole in your door, dude?" "My friend." "Oh, okay." You know what I think it is? There's like a whole story there. You guys know what the iceberg theory is? Like the Hemingway iceberg theory. It's like the less information you give, the more of a story is there. Like you don't need to describe the deepness of the story because it will be there no matter what. It will always exist, whether you just see the peak of the iceberg or you see the whole iceberg. And so it's almost cooler just to see the peak. Iceberg theory. So that story is the iceberg theory. Like, why did his friend punch a hole in his door? Like, was he mad at him? The door was pretty messed up, though. Kind of a story. Maybe the reason the interaction has stuck with me for so long is because of the mystery within the story itself. And maybe they don't even remember it. So they did have some golf on the TV though. At that, it was a brewery. Of course, it wasn't. It was a brewery. But yeah, golf is weird, man. It's like so much time of it is like just silence, and then just like waiting for someone, to like just do a little like swing, And then once the swing happens, let's say putting, like they're going back and forth, they're not ready yet. They go back and forth, and then they finally putt it, and then everyone claps for them. I think it would be great if like we were in bathrooms. You guys know, is there a scientific term for stage fright in a bathroom? Or is it just universally stage fright? Excuse me. But is it universally stage fright when you can't pee because other people are around? Or whatever it's called. I think if we're all in a bathroom and it's dead silent and then someone overcomes their stage fright, I think it should be like golf. I think everyone should do a golf clap. This metaphor is just becoming more and more real of the urinals and the stage. Because it's not even, I'm not even being original. Like, people have stage fright in front of urinals. Just like they have stage fright on a stage. And both places, people are lined up and waiting for them to do what they need to do. I did have a pretty hard time with public speaking. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's like, first time I played guitar in front of people, I wasn't ready for my hands to shake as much as they did. But that was back when I was in high school. But I remember, and we were playing like Metallica. We played like Master of Puppets, like their earlier thrash stuff. And I was like really good at playing it like in the basement. But then we got in front of a crowd and my hands were shaking so much. And then I had to play, if you know that song, there's like towards the end of it, there's like a clean kind of bridge where one guitar plays like these chords and single notes, and it's like a very clean, very precise arrangement that they play a solo over, and the other dude played the solo because he was a better guitarist than me. But once I got to that part, I like played it so fast. I wasn't ready. And when you play clean tones on a guitar, it's easier to hear mistakes and stuff. I mean, there's no evidence of that show or anything that I know of except for a couple photographs. But yeah, it's supposed to be like this kind of like graceful, clean, kind of pretty shimmering guitar part that has like an electric solo over it. And I played it like 100 miles an hour. I got better about that. What was way more challenging than playing guitar or singing in front of people, because I did both, was actually when I started teaching. I used to sweat a lot. Or I sweated in poetry readings too, but like the first semester I was teaching, it was pretty tough for like a few weeks, like voice shaking. I'm still embarrassed about it, really. Like I was really nervous. And then there was one time I was getting reviewed, and so I was like kind of sweating more than usual. And then one of the students, he was like, "Is it raining in here?" I was like, "God damn it." But then I calmed down, and then he had to come to me and ask me for a good grade. So, the tables do turn. You gotta be careful who you're trying to mock in public. I've never done anything like that. I've never regretted lashing out at people. Remember in Rambo when he's like out in the woods and he's getting everything ready, and then he's ready for the people to come up and just walk through his area. That's me, dude. Just like crouched really low, and then like when the moment strikes, so do I. That's my whole thing. And then remorse and guilt follows. Oh, I was thinking more about that story I was telling last week. All right, so if you tuned in last week, um, it's a story. It's a simple story, but it's examining a much larger and deeper concept, similar to that of the iceberg theory by Hemingway. It's about a banana. So this dude, I'll build a little bit more backstory this time. So he goes to the doctor and finds out he has low levels of potassium, and he needs to start eating more potassium, which is like, so then he just starts eating a bunch of bananas. And there's only one banana left, and it's like late at night, and the grocery stores are closed probably. I don't know. Is that a good point? Whenever I'm thinking about stories, I think one of the bad things and good things about writing and studying writing and having years and years of criticism from other people is it almost like stalls your process, because then you're thinking like, okay, so maybe it's like why can't he just go to the store and get different bananas, you know? Then it's like, well, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but then it's like, oh, well, maybe it's too late. And it's like, well, when do grocery stores close? Probably depends on the grocery store. There's probably a grocery store somewhere that's open. I'm just gonna just ignore what I just said. All right, for some reason that we can decide later together in our editing process, there's one banana that he has in his apartment, and it's the only one, and it has to be the one. He can't get a different one for some reason. And so he's like, all right, time to eat my banana. And so he goes and he reaches to pick it up, and it's like so ripe that it just like, it squishes in. And he wasn't expecting that, because when he was looking at the banana, it looked all like regular yellow, and like it looked like the proper amount of ripeness that he usually enjoys. I feel like this is my Seinfeld spec script. But then I would need different arcs too. So, and I don't even really watch Seinfeld. I'm going to do Sunny in Philadelphia instead. And obviously it would be Dennis would be the one that's said about the banana. He's on some obsessive banana diet. Or, you know, he just probably always has been obsessed with bananas, honestly, because that's the type of person he is. And so I guess they'd be at the bar, and he's like all pissed, and like they got the banana on the bar, and the rest of the gang is there. And of course, Charlie would be like, I don't see what's wrong with it. I'll eat the banana. I don't know. He's always saying the weird shit. All right, change of plan. Here's what it is. The banana went missing. And Dennis is ready to carry out a master plan, and they know that. And so he's like, he needs the banana back because it was important to him. And so then it shows up, but it's like put back together. Like it was unpeeled, but then it was put, I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, it's like taped. I feel like it would be taped back together. And then Frank shows up with like a bunch of other bananas because of his side story. Like he's investing, he's going to sell bananas that he got for cheap from somewhere shady or whatever. And then like they're like, well, Dennis, just have one of these ones. He's like, I don't want that one. I don't want those ones. Later boners, and then D leaves. I'm done thinking. I need to think about it more. Because it kind of expanded, right? It kind of expanded from a simple story, brought too many characters in. And I do like the scene of a group of people surrounding a banana. And there is conflict, and they have to address it together. Through the various avenues of the internet, I started kind of stumbling back upon some Saturday Night Live skits. You know what's cool about Saturday Night Live? People, well, I'm going to try not to ramble, but I think everybody on Earth pretty much has like their favorite SNL skits, which is cool. And I will say, like the ones being made today are really good. People hate on them. When you go online, read the comments. People always hate on them. But people pretty much hated on SNL, I think always pretty much. And it was kind of like, I used to watch it. Like back when like Amy Poehler and Andy Samberg were some of the actors on it, writers on it. I watched it pretty much. I tried to watch it almost every week I could. Or I actually even taped them and then watched them later if I couldn't watch them. But even back then, it was like not every skit was good. Like there were amazing ones, and then some of them, it was like they were just trying something. And that's what it is. They write a whole show in 1 week. And that's what makes it great, is like how they try things, experiment with things. And then sometimes it doesn't work, or sometimes it doesn't work for everyone. But I will say, like, watching some of the old ones from back when I was when I was discovering it, basically, like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler were doing the weekend update, and then it was like the digital shorts were just starting. One thing that I kind of respect going back to those ones is like a lot of their skits, like they do not care to explain themselves at all. Like it's not like this is the joke. Like it's almost like if you don't get it, you're the loser. Whereas now I feel like with the internet, there's so much pressure for the comment section to like be with you. And it's like a lot of people, like they don't get the humor in it. They're like, this sucks. Like, no, it's because like it's going over your head, basically. It was a digital short I was trying to explain without showing it. And it was so difficult to explain why it was funny. It's like you're not supposed to explain why it's funny. Like it's funny when you watch it. And if you don't think it's funny, that doesn't mean that it's like bad. It was the one that Bill Hader and Andy Samberg, they're like shooting each other. And every time one of them would get shot, it'd be like that, what you say? Which is actually a reference to the OC. I didn't learn that till later because I only knew the skit. But I was like trying to explain it. I mean, just like I just did. It's like when you watch it, it's like so fucking funny, but it does not explain itself whatsoever. It's like, this is it, and it's weird, and it's hilarious. It's like making fun of film. It's like making fun of like drama. But then it's also the way they do it. They keep playing the song over and over again. It's like that repetition of like such a rapid callback is like hilarious. I just did what I said you don't need to do, which is try to explain it. But it kind of makes me feel kind of hopeless about art and humor and stuff, man. Like just, I feel like we're in a time now where like artists are expected to explain themselves when they never were before. Like the best art, it did piss people off, or it did make people feel things that like was completely out of the artist's control. But now that we have like comment sections, there can be like uprisings, or like people like can sway other people's opinions because they're on a keyboard. Those digital shorts were like my life, though. They were so funny. The Lazy Sunday one, rewatched that. Yeah, they were hilarious, and it was like pioneering. Like back then, YouTube probably was just started when those digital shorts started being made. Like it was the equivalent of like what people were just doing with their friends, like making stuff with cameras. And that's what was so cool about it. It still happens today. I don't want to make a sweeping generalization either. I do feel like I wish there wasn't the commitment to the audience like it is now. And I do think Saturday Night Live now still does take tremendous risks. And they take much bigger risks than like the sort of shock value, anti-cancel culture. Like a lot of the stand-up is just to like shock people. It's like that's not like, people understand that right away what you're doing. It's not like risky or edgy. It's like they understand what you're doing. It's much more risky to do something that like doesn't explain itself in such an obvious way. But yeah, SNL still does it. Their weekend update is hilarious now. There was another one that kind of, I thought it was so funny watching it live, and then it like, when I went to the comments, I was really disappointed that people didn't get it. It was like they were doing a Rorschach test, or however you say it, and the dude was seeing like the most perverted shit, and he was just like he was like explaining like the most perverted images, and it was so funny because that's the joke. It's like it's fucked up, and it was like the Like the character, the joke is that he's like seeing this crazy, fucked up, traumatic shit. And like when you go to the comments, everyone was like, I don't understand why this is so, like, why would they go there with it? Why would they make this? It's so like perverted. It's like that's why it's funny. Like, do you not understand characters? Like, do you not understand like that it's like an examination of a character as opposed to like the writers are like thinking the thoughts of the character. That's not what's happening. Probably the one that's wrong. I don't know. I'm always laughing at the wrong time, so maybe that's just an extension of it. But that, I mean, SNL is like the place for that, really. Maybe it's also that it used to be a late night show that people would tune into, and now it's just like people can watch it anytime. And so then the exposure is a different crowd. But yeah, I only really know the SNL that I have grown up with too. I don't know what it was like back in the day, or like when it first started, or through the 90s even. So maybe it always had the controversy, and it was just what people didn't have the opportunity to try and sway huge groups of people through the comment section. I'm going to try and read you part of my story that came out. So once again, I had a short story published in Slash magazine. It is a horror story, and it's kind of it's a short story, so it's probably, I think it's over 3,000 words, but I'm just going to read a couple paragraphs. Did I say the title of it? It's called The Buzzing of Melbourne Ritz. Anyone other than Melbourne Ritz would have been suspicious about the dumpster behind the barber shop. The mountain of hair inside the unfamiliar business's waste disposal unit was so overstuffed the lid would not close properly. Its plastic hung awkwardly bent like the brim of a baseball cap. Even the slightest gust of wind would send large balls of fuzz rolling across the parking lot like tumbleweed dancing across the desert. Ooh, thunder. It's raining. When Mel saw this, he did not think, something's not quite right about that. If those thoughts had crossed Mel's mind, he probably would still be alive today. Unfortunately, that fateful afternoon, Mel was in the midst of a phase which involved him believing he was an expert in business, an entrepreneurial man who was bound to get his big break once some perfect opportunity fell effortlessly into his lap. Therefore, his thoughts on the hairy dumpster were exactly the opposite. Wow, that place does great business, Mel said, arms folded as he admired the hair pile's dangerous weight. Mel would have said this to himself, even if there wasn't a stranger walking past at that exact moment of his confident exclamation. Mel's fingers extended outward to the hair pile like a child reaching for a sippy cup. See, he added, that must be the result of thousands of different haircuts. The stranger did not answer, hardly slowing their stride. They glanced nervously at the dumpster before disappearing around the corner of the sidewalk. Mel ran his fingers through his own hair. He pinched his fingers through his scalp's thick tufts, determining their length. His hair was perfectly groomed. He had just had an appointment 2 weeks ago, hardly spanning his usual 6 weeks between trips to his neighborhood salon, but the curiosity he felt toward the barbershop's dim and mysterious windows made it impossible for him to change his mind. He was going in. I'm going to stop there because there wouldn't be another stopping point for a while, and my attention span's all messed up. I should have practiced it, but that wasn't too bad, was it? No, it wasn't, Nate. Hey, that wasn't too bad, was it? No, Nate, you did great. Thank you. All right. What are you doing later? No. I'll see you guys later. All right. Bye-bye.